Hi everybody, Pen here with Yogacises. We're back again with part 2 of the interview with Avani. It's because of the first one, it got just cut off due to internet technical difficulties, but I'm glad that we're connected back together again, and so we can finish up part 2 of the interview. And how we ended in part 1 was she was talking about I asked her about how during Reiki and yoga, the energy exchanging with clients and practitioners or herself, and how they can deal with or help themselves regulate after a session.
Yeah. And it's such an important question. And I don't know exactly where the internet cut off. So, what I was saying is that it's really, really common, and a lot of my both Reiki and yoga students come to me with this sincere concern, and I think it's because we are acting as conduits for these practices, and the same reason why I was saying self-care is so important. We're giving, we're downloading, we're processing, and it can really seem like we're very open a lot, very often. And this is why it's really, really important, extra important. I think everybody should have some kind of energetic protection or preservation techniques, good for every human, no matter what you're working in or practicing. But particularly people who work in the wellness field, it can feel very overwhelming to take on or think that you need to take on other people's stuff. And I wouldn't necessarily say that this is a result specifically of Reiki or that it's a result specifically of yoga. I think it's more a personality or like an archetype occurrence. So people who are empaths and people who are very empathetic, very compassionate, we can't really just see ourselves in the other's shoes. We often really feel ourselves, but like truly feel and embody the experience of how this other one is feeling. And in yogic philosophy, that is the union. There is no separation. One person's suffering is our own suffering. And yet, it would be impossible to move through the day. You know, in 2019, we're not aesthetics where what would be called homesteaders. You know, we are practicing yoga, and we're also coming home and washing the dishes and feeding the children and, you know, doing the very practical day-to-day tasks. So if we're constantly carrying everybody's traumas and sorrows and confusions and anxieties and depressions, it can be debilitating. So I really, really recommend, I think it's good to start with, say, 3 accessible, realistic cleansing practices that will help you get energy and really recognize what you might be carrying that doesn't actually belong to you. And so to give you some examples, like my personal cleansing and getting back to myself and my own wholeness activities or routines are smudging. I love smudging. Here we use usually copal or palo santo. Those are more native to this region. Depending on where you're located, you might have, it might be more local, like sage or sweetgrass or lavender, mugwort, things like this for smudging practice. Also, meditation. I really need to separate myself physically, mentally, emotionally from everything that is happening in order to reside fully in myself. And even if it's only 3 minutes, 5 minutes, ideally I would be able to have that space and time for 10 or 20 minutes. But even just a couple minutes can go a really long way. And that's another practice I love. of course, my yoga practice. Anytime I'm feeling icky, I'm carrying too much stuff. When I go and get on the mat, it's like it's like, I want to say food processor, but that doesn't seem right. It's not jumbling it all together. It's like sifting it all out. That stuff doesn't belong to me. And then afterwards, I usually feel a little more plugged into myself. And then I use dry bathing too, which is a Reiki technique, where I literally just visualize myself kind of bathing or scrubbing anything that doesn't belong to me out of my field. So those are my cleansing and protection techniques, and it doesn't have to be those things. Some people can get back in their wholeness by going for a run, or like cold water dips, or breath practice, or whatever. It can be so many things, but I think try to develop at least 3 techniques that you have set that aside as ceremony or ritual, and that's how you preserve and protect your personal space, because it's not sustainable to work in this field if you're taking on everybody else's stuff all the time. It's exhausting.
Yeah, it is. I've experienced that. Those are great techniques. Thank you for sharing them. I gotta try. So I'll try the oh my gosh, I can't even think right now. The with sage and what is it called again?
Smudging. Yeah, smudging.
Right, the smudging. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Okay.
Even with an incense that you like, it doesn't have to be herbs specifically for smudging, although that's what I like to use, but it could even just be an incense that you really enjoy. Something that, smelling is our sense most tied to memory. And I feel like if you can kind of cleanse that palate, you can clear out whatever is psychically not really part of your own experience. And you can come back to your remembered wholeness through the sense of smell. So I don't think it has to be smudge specific herbs if those aren't accessible. Although in New York City, you could probably find that, but even just an incense that you like.
Okay. I'm gonna have to give that a try. What else? Oh yeah, so tell us your websites and emails and stuff like that.
All that jazz. Yeah. So I'll make sure to send you, Pan, all the links, because it's kind of a lot, and so it might be hard as I'm whizzing through them to visualize. But I'll make sure to send it to you so it can go in the footnotes of the episode. But the retreat center here in Puerto Viejo, where we invite facilitators from outside to bring their retreats. We also have public yoga classes 7 days a week. So if you're just visiting the area and you want to pop in and take yoga class with any of the instructors or with me, then we're here. We also have a full spa, so Reiki services and then some. We have all kinds of good stuff available there. That is called Om at Cashew Hill. And so the website is just the same name of the business. It's Om at cashewhill.com. And then my yoga teacher training program, which all of those trainings take place here at the physical location at the moment, but that training program is called Caribe Yoga Academy. So it's Caribe, Caribe, yogaacademy.com. And we're on all social media and everything too. And then pretty soon, within the next week or two, my personal site will be launching, and then that will have all of my different events, no matter where they are geographically listed there. And so that will be Avani Gilbert, just my full name, avanigilbert.com. So I'll be sure to share all of those with you as well in text.
All right, great. Congrats on launching your own website, with your name and everything. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you
right.
so much.
Thank you for being on, sharing us.
I hope you Thank you. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. So you still have a nice, a bit of a full day ahead. I thought we were in way different time zones. So enjoy the rest of your Saturday and the rest of hopefully it's a weekend off that's restful.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much, Pan.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.